Han So Hee, caught up in a love scandal with Ryo Young, is facing a media storm that she never saw coming. And to justify herself, she wrote a super long blog post with a bunch of conflicting information, which just made people even more mad and ready to cancel her. Now, she's losing tons of followers on social media, getting slammed with criticism left and right, and it's all just one big mess that she's stuck in. But beside her screw-ups, this scandal that she's in is also messed with something invincible called cosmic star, and if she knew about it, maybe she would have made smarter moves instead of digging herself a deeper hole. So today, we're gonna use Multiverse Astrology to break it down and figure out the best advice for Han So Hee. To figure out what's up with her life this year, Multiverse Astrology uses a special technique called progression. Basically, each day corresponds to each year in her life. To be more specific, Han So Hee was born on November 18, 1994, considering the time of the first quarter of 2024 when the scandal broke out. She had already turned 29 and is about to turn 30. To predict what her 29 year is gonna look like, we will look at the astrology chart of the 29 days after her birth date, which lands on December 17, 1994. But to really get it right, we're gonna check how the planets are playing around on that day. So now we will use Multiverse Astrology to do just that. This scandal involving Han So Hee has two main things going on. First off, there's public losing trust in her, and this usually happens when Chiron, the asteroid representing reliability in multiverse astrology, is having a bad time in the astrology progression chart. When Han So Hee was born in the geocentric longitude zodiac 12 dimension, her Chiron was at 23.8 Virgo and her Sun was at about 25.5 Scorpio. And 29 days later, corresponding to her 29th year in 2024, in the astrology progression chart, Chiron moves to 25.9 Virgo and the Sun moves to 24.9 Sagittarius. As a result, at the point, the Sun and Chiron form a square aspect between them. But a square is a super bad aspect, so this progression seriously messes up her credibility in people's eyes. In other words, it's when people tend not to easily believe what Han So Hee says. Depending on the exact time of her birth on November 18, 1994, this kind of influence will last maximum until early April 2025. Now, a second thing happening here is Han So Hee losing control amidst this media storm, and losing control in life often happens when we under the Saturn's progression, the planet representing loss of control in life. Especially under Saturn's influence, the more we try to control things, the more they tend to slip out of our grasp. When Han So Hee was born in the heliocentric longitude zodiac 7 dimension, her Earth was at 4.1 degrees in the second section of the zodiac 7 chart, and her Saturn was at 32.9 degrees in the 7th section of the zodiac 7 chart. And the heliocentric longitude zodiac 7 dimension is created by taking the Sun as a center and dividing the circle of the 360 degrees into 7 equal parts. If you are interested, please check out my video on the 6 dimensions in multiverse astrology attached at the end of this video. 29 days later, on the progression chart for her 29th year in 2024, Saturn moves to 33.9 degrees in the 7th section of the zodiac 7 chart, and the Earth moves to 33.5 degrees in the second section of the zodiac 7 chart, and as a point, Earth forms a bisectile aspect with Saturn. But a bisectile aspect involving Saturn is also really bad. So this is when Han So Hee is prone to losing control in her life, and the more she tries to control things, the more they tend to slip out of her grasp. And depending on the exact time of her birth on November 18, 2024, this kind of influence will last maximum until early September 1994. Putting the two influences together, we can see that Han So Hee is going through a phase in her life where the whole world doesn't trust her and even turns away from her, and her life is prone to turn upside down, out of control. Plus, the more she tries to control things, the more they tend to slip out of her grasp. But if Han So Hee knew about these two influences, she could totally have come up with better solutions. So instead of putting out explanations that might contradict reality, she should own up to her mistakes and hope that the public will forgive her, because during a really bad Chiron progression, people tend to focus on your flaws no matter how hard you try. Follow my channel and join my Facebook group called Multiverse Astrology if you're interested in studying astrology from scientific perspectives. And if you have any comment, please drop them below. I will reply as soon as I can. And if you want to book a consultation session with me, please inbox me. I check the link in the description below. And if you want to get your birth chart in all 6 dimensions, please visit AstroPro, our free astrology birth chart drawing tool in 6 dimensions at en.astropro.vn. And now it's time to say goodbye, my Magi friends. Goodbye and see you again very soon.